First tonight, an agreement on gun reform legislation in the wake of recent mass shootings across the U.S. Yesterday, 20 U.S. senators from both sides of the aisle announced the framework of legislation to help prevent gun violence. This compromise spurred by the deadly school shooting in Uvalde. Connor Board joined us now in studio. And Connor, some people do not think this agreement goes far enough, and it's still seeing support from people on both sides of the aisle.
That's exactly right, Quita. Even President Joe Biden said that although he doesn't think everything that is needed is in this, he said it is a step in the right direction. He also said this would be the most significant gun safety legislation to pass Congress in decades. It's been 20 days since 19 kids and 2 teachers were murdered in a school in Uvalde. Now 20 bipartisan senators have announced a gun violence agreement, including Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn. He tweeted, "This agreement will provide schools the resources they need to enhance security and keep our children safe. It will invest in mental health programs to support communities and schools, and it will not infringe on the rights of law-abiding gun owners." One key piece to this proposed legislation is it would create an enhanced background check for gun buyers who are under 21 years old. This would include reviewing juvenile records and mental health records. Both the Uvalde shooter and the Buffalo shooter were just 18 years old. We spoke to Democrat U.S. Representative from Texas, Lloyd Doggett, who says this could be a good move, but it's complicated.
They want to add juvenile records to the national database. Not a bad idea, but a rather complex one. Since those records are usually sealed, it may require a change in laws in each state, and we don't know if that would even happen in Texas for some time.
U.S. Representative Republican Tony Gonzalez represents Uvalde and D.C. He voted against gun control measures in the House last week, which Doggett had supported. On Monday, Congressman Gonzalez told the Washington Post he so far supports the proposed Senate legislation and is looking forward to seeing the text.
People are tired of inaction, and there needs to be something, and something that can ultimately pass into law. And haven't seen that in the House.
Last week, the U.S. House passed the Protecting Our Kids Act, which proposed more strict gun control measures, including increasing the age to 21 to buy assault-style weapons and banning high-capacity magazines. But it's not expected to pass in the Senate. Congressman Doggett thinks these are key pieces missing from the Senate agreement.
We know what would prevent another situation, and that is to deny weapons of war to people who cannot get a handgun until they're 21, cannot buy a beer until they're 21, but under this apparent agreement, they can still get an assault weapon. And having a good background check system would also help.
Another piece of the Senate proposal is making funding available to states that implement red flag laws. This makes it easier to temporarily take guns from people who could potentially be violent. Representative Gonzalez says he does not support red flag laws and doesn't want them in Texas, but says he's okay with leaving it up to states.
At the end of the day, what I don't want to have happen is I don't want the federal government dictating to states what they will or will not do. Now, you can offer them options all day long, but when you dictate something, I think that gets ahead of it.
Another really big piece of this agreement is that it would put more funding towards school safety and mental health programs. Congressman Gonzalez says to him, mental health and school security are the most important pieces. While, of course, Congressman Doggett thinks more also needs to be done with gun control. We did reach out to both Senator John Cornyn, who again helped create this agreement, and to Senator Ted Cruz for interviews. We were told neither were available today. Ashley?
That's KVUE's Connor Board reporting for us tonight in the studio. Thank you, Connor.